Hi everyone, I'm John C. Morley, the host of the JMOR Tech Talk Show and Inspirations for Your Life. Well, hey guys, it is John C. Morley here, and serial entrepreneur, and welcome to another great issue of the JMOR Tech Talk Show. I can't believe today is already the third Friday in July. There's just 2 more Fridays left, and then we're into the month of August. Where did June even go? There was no spring. We kind of just went right through. Anyway, we have an amazing show for you guys tonight. Lots of great information that I think you're going to be really interested to learn about. We always give you, great insights, and I'm sure you guys know that. But I think a lot of times what happens is, we get these insights and we figure out that, things are not exactly the way we thought they were going to be. Not for any bad reason, but just because things are different than the perspective that we actually have on life. So I think that's really a big difference. And I will say that it really depends on how you look at something, and how you look at something um, can really shape things, right? But what I want to talk about is this wonderful world we have. And you remember a while back, you remember there was something called crypto, right? Well, I have to tell you that Meta is pulling the plug, yes, on its crypto payments wallet, Novi. So 3 years after Facebook announced that it was going to be ill-fated and push into cryptocurrency, the project tech giants had basically told another team they're scaling back its activities, and that Novi, the digital wallet payment pilot, had launched last September, and it's going to be ending it, yes, on September 1st, 2022. So I have to say something to you guys. I think that crypto is not all that it's cracked up to be. I mean, no pun intended there, but it's not. All these people that I had connections with virtually, it's like there's nowhere for them to be found anymore. Like they just, I don't know, they disappeared off the earth. And so by disappearing off the earth, I think that's probably an interesting way to say it, but it's the truth, right? They literally just disappeared off the earth. I mean, people were saying, oh, invest in this, invest in that. But the truth of the matter was, nobody really knew what was going on. So, Facebook, Meta, whatever we want to call them, but it's Facebook, aka Meta, and they have announced per Novi that they are pulling the plug in September. All right, so there are big changes, my friends, with the simulation industry. The new Unreal Engine 5 offers significant new potential for the simulation industry. So the release of this new engine has caused a few waves in many industries, and the potential to change the face of what we will see as the next generation game development is very clear. Others who are creators in the film and television world, live events and architecture, automotive, and more, all have much to celebrate about this, because this Unreal Engine 5 is going to change the world. But with this groundbreaking new tool set of generating highly realistic, highly accuracy, massive open worlds, they're going to be equally applicable to the simulation industry. and they're going to take a look and see what's actually going to go on. But what we're talking about is augmented reality, right? Visual reality and augmented reality. And so this is something that would have costed a lot before, but now it's going to be possible to do something like this in fractions of the cost because of computers and because of technology. I mean, this is something that I think is going to really change, where the world is going. And I feel that it's going to give educators, inventors, engineers like myself the ability to share a world that doesn't yet exist, to conceptualize things and present them to other people that would not really be able to understand this, not because of their ability to learn anything, but because they weren't really immersed into this type of world. And this new tool set, existing the Unreal Engine features for bringing the real world data to real life applications, such as the georeferencing plugin that enables you to associate locations in the Unreal Engine level with locations in a physical space. The addition, there'll be amazing support coming from the Unreal Engine ecosystem, including Cesium for Unreal with its 3D tile integration, ArcGIS Maps SDK for Unreal Engine, and the Symblocks.io CDB Datasmith Explorer. So these are just a few things. Photorealism in real time. That's something, ladies and gentlemen, that takes a lot of computer power. And what use is the world that's so big but not believable? The Unreal Engine 5 is going to be not just a game changer, but it's going to open more than Pandora's box. It's going to build new kingdoms for people. Things that they never were able to grasp. They're going to be able to do that. One company that does pool particle and surfacing can use it to actually animate how this works, so they can show manufacturing or show how things are. It can be used to show textures and actually the agility and how robots are running. We call it AR, AI logic. So that's going to really help a lot. And it's also going to help with things like massive avoidance and zone graphing, so that if we're talking about a robot or we're talking about some other device, it's going to be able to avoid things. I mean, I was in a store today, and it was actually Stop and Shop, which many of you know Stop and Shop. And so what is Marty? Well, Marty's official job is to patrol the store and spot spills and hazards. Now, according to Stop and Shop, the robot sensors are just there to find items on the floor and to prevent it from bumping into things. But let's get the truth about things. Somebody who used to work for Stop and Shop, who was a worker there, claimed that Marty robot is used to actually monitor customers. The store says this is not true. So Marty's the robot is Stop and Shop's most recognizable gimmick. It's tall, it's oblong, it's a robot with googly eyes, and moving steadily around the store, according to an alleged former Stop and Shop worker, who on TikTok, Marty is secretly a surveillance droid. The company has since refuted claims in a statement to many places, including the Daily Dot. In a viral TikTok that's been viewed more than 600,000 times, Marty is a patroller of the stores in order to watch you. So what customers think, and I quote, is that Marty's a robot that tells us when there's a spill or any hazard around the store. They say that in actuality, Marty has a whole bunch of cameras all over him pointing at sensors on Marty's body. And they claim that security guards could watch a live camera feed from Marty on their phones. So the question is Marty a security device? Stop and Shop. You know, it is a device that's meant to help, right? And keep track of things. So people are seeing the future of grocery store technology. And it's interesting. Now, to understand how a small shop works, you have to understand a little about logistics and sensors and all kinds of stuff. But prior to 2019, the Stop and Shop shopping experience was similar to that offered by most of any other large grocery stores. But in recent years, Stop and Shop introduced the giant gray aisle patrolling robot in over 200 stores in Connecticut, Massachusetts, Rhode Island, and New Jersey. And they put notes all over the store telling you that Marty's here to help alert staff for spills and things like that. Each robot weighs a massive 140 pounds and costs just about $35,000. And the robot is named Marty atop of their tall frame, which towers over more than 5 feet 3 inches in stature. And it rests a large pair of googly eyes. And so, as not to come off as a complete faceless, emotionless, lifeless robot, it's a rolling mechanical column. And Marty is interesting. But they say Marty does a whole lot of nothing. Marty is advertised as an aisle sweeping superhero, but it's simply a messenger that shouts about a problem until a more capable human comes and is able to do it. But I want to know, ladies and gentlemen, what is the truth about what Marty does? Hmm? Well, I think the stores don't want us to know, but why would they want to hide this from us? Why? Interesting. Um, and so Marty the robot, you'll see in lots of retail stores, as I was mentioning, it's a service bot that alerts customers of spills and trip hazards and checks inventory to detect incorrect pricing or missing labels. So if we say it can do that and it can check for inventory, I have to believe that it also can be watching for customers as well. So grocery stores can oftentimes be overcrowded, confusing, and a complete mess. But this new service robot that was announced not too long ago can help make them safer and cleaner. And next time you shop and visit that local store, it'll be interesting to see if you bump into Marty. I mean, I bumped into him before. He didn't say anything to me. But when I got near him, he actually just stopped. So Marty notices spills or other trip hazards, and he can alert customers verbally by saying, "Caution, hazard detected." He can then contact employees through the store's public announcement system, using Wi-Fi, obviously, through the network. And Marty the robot can also scan shelves to check products and detect incorrect pricing or missing labels. They say that shoppers don't need to worry that personal information about them is being collected. Any images or videos Marty captures is stored for a short period of time and is then destroyed. His focus is on identifying spills, but I don't know if I believe that. I don't know if I really believe that. Because Marty, I believe, is a security guard in a way. Because $35,000 just to patrol, that's a lot. I think he watches for shoplifting. I think a lot of shoppers have said that he discourages them from buying because it just feels a little uncomfortable. And so when you see Marty, he doesn't greet you or say anything to you. $35,000 for a device that can patrol the store, have cameras, and can just look into things. I don't know. I just have this feeling that Marty does more at Stop and Shop than they tell us. And he's called a non-essential worker. That's what they call him. People look up at him. He can't really give you any information. And Marty was introduced by Ahold Delhaize, Stop and Shop's Netherlands-based parent company. And they put these robots, which cost a whopping $35,000, in hundreds of Stop and Shop stores throughout the United States. The robots have been a source of problems since their arrival, but as the pandemic has been going around us, it's reshaped the shopping experience. I think Marty was rolled out to cut back on staffing and to give the workers a more pleasant experience so they don't have to, the shoppers, but he really isn't doing that. Some tech-dazzled people say he's annoying. Some people say he's charming, he's fascinating. But a lot of people see him as a problem and a problem solver. One Stop and Shop employee who's been there for years, over 30 years, to withhold his name for privacy reasons. And I quote, "That's not my perspective. It's everybody for the most part, that he is a pain in the you-know-what. Customers cannot stand him. He's always in the way. And I even hear managers complaining about what a pain in the neck he is. But they have to play along. They have no choice. He is a pain, a royal pain in the rear." So Joe, who also has been working at Stop and Shop for more than 30 years, told Mashable that sometimes the robot even has trouble doing his one extremely simple job. Joe also wanted to withhold his last name for privacy concerns. And I want to make a quote. "We had a shopper pick up a thing of sugar, and the bag had a hole in it. So the sugar got all over the floor. But you can't see it. Marty walked right through it and never said a word. A customer pointed out to us, and Joe explained, you know how slippery sugar is on those wax floors? Joe noted that although Marty misses major hazards, the robot occasionally summons workers to remove extremely small, inconsequential threats, such as a marker and errant bits of produce or a twist tie. So sugar is definitely a hazard, right? Whoever works sees Marty, they're reminded of how heavily invested Stop and Shop is in their pieces of useless technology, I quote, that have nothing to do but create more work on the floor. I have to say, if I had to believe, Marty's a security device. I think Marty scans the store. I think he watches what's going on. Okay? That's my experience. And they don't want to tell people the truth about Marty. But really, I have to say that Marty, I feel, is a security surveillance robot. You might say to me, is he really? Well, he has cameras, right? They're claiming that he just looks at things, but people that worked at the store made statements that they hold the video for a lot longer, and actually they store that information and they look at it. So Marty appears to be like this friendly robot, but really, I can see stores investing $35,000 in a robot because that robot paying one time, you pay a security guard $25,000, $40,000 a year or more, they pay $35,000. So the question you might be asking is, well, how long does Marty run on a charge at Stop and Shop? Well, he seems to run for a while, but how long? How long does Marty the robot run on a single charge? How long does he run? So Marty has his own um like little portal. Um, you know, basically what you need is a Scratch 3 compatible device with Wi-Fi, a laptop or a tablet, and Marty the robot. That's basically what you need. Um, Marty behaves, and how do you care for Marty? So Marty is on switch is on the back, and you can tell if he's switched on because a white light will appear as shown below, right in the indicator. And so if the light doesn't appear, it might be because the battery is flat or not connected. So a charging cable with your Marty comes, and you can use the charge from a USB port. A blue light will turn on when Marty is charging and off when Marty is fully charged. Marty can be used while charging, but you don't want to leave it turned on and plugged into the charger, as it'll eventually deactivate, and then Marty will just run out of battery. So Marty's battery starts to run low. Marty will start beeping at you. When the battery gets more flat, Marty will just stop moving until charged up again. So Marty can't actually recharge himself. So when Marty's turned on, his motors can be on or off. A command will turn on all Marty's motors and move Marty to his starting position. And they claim that that's very, very easy to do. It's interesting to see that Marty is a set of building blocks that you can click on, but they pretty much have them together. So some of the things Marty can do, get ready, he can walk X steps, he can kick, left leg, right leg, he can circle dance, he can stand straight, eyes excited. So that's for their dancing things. So you could do things like that. You can repeat actions. You can make him dance when things happen. But the question I have for you is, what propelled Marty to be built? Well, in the original version of Marty, so there was Marty the tablet, and this is the confusion. There's Marty the Marty tablet, but that's actually different than the Marty at the store. The Marty at the store actually will charge himself automatically, okay? But there's another company that makes a Marty. But this Marty, I got news for you, is oftentimes confused because this is the Marty for education. This is not the Marty for Stop and Shop. So I see this as a real confusion, right? So Marty, it's Marty, I call Marty the Stop and Shop robot. And I don't know. I just feel that Marty himself is a bit of an enigma. And for people to say, they're former Stop and Shop employees, and Marty the robot is not just for decoration, he holds a more sinister purpose. So I really believe that Marty is actually watching the store. In the beginning, when I didn't see him around so much, I really thought that Marty was just coming out, but he watches the shoppers. Right? And so what are Marty's true plans? Well, the former employee, who we won't give you their name, claimed to have shared the real reason behind keeping Marty in the stores. Allegedly, Marty's entire robotic frame contains cameras that help store security. And I have to believe that because I've looked at Marty's frame and he does look like he has a lot more cameras on the back. She also claimed that Marty is there to keep an eye out on you up close. So while she showed a snap of the robot, she demonstrated exactly where the cameras were and claimed, so while you're there thinking it's a cute robot, the head of the security can see you looking at the machine from his phone. It's a lazy way of them surveilling the place. Some people were convinced that this former employee had confirmed everything they already knew about Marty. One user wrote, "I knew it because it would be in places where there were no spills." Another admitted, and I quote, "I never thought he was there to alert employees of spills. I knew he was watching me steal expensive vegan cheese." Another person, "I worked there for years. Marty was the biggest waste of money," said a third person. When asked for a comment, Stop and Shop's Jennifer Brogan told The Sun exclusively, "Marty the robot does not watch customers or conduct surveillance of any kind. In fact, Marty does not have video capabilities. Marty only takes still photography of our store floors as he monitors for spills and hazards." And while some people believe Marty is a pointless robot, their robot bartenders will sit behind the round bar and beneath them and a bunch of bottles and will hang from the ceiling. However, human bartenders will still be using a mixed variety of cocktails. So the question is, some people believe Marty is useless. But really, you have to understand something, that why would a company just make something for $35,000 to just go around and tell you about spills? I think the answer is right there in the question. A company would not spend millions of dollars developing robots just so they could tell you when there's a spill. I'm sorry. But would they do that to cut back on security staff? Yeah. So my conclusion is out that I believe that Marty is a security robot. He's a security robot. But many people will not agree with us on that because they don't want you to actually know. They don't want you to know the true purpose of the robot. So when the robot gets low, he can go back and he can recharge himself, but he gets confused with the academic robot, which is a small thing that basically sits on like a table. So I want to tell you right now that I have no problem that they use a robot for surveillance, but hey, Stop and Shop, why are you hiding it? Why don't you just tell people the truth? What do you have to hide, right? All right, so I went off my banter on that. I think what we have to understand in life is that sometimes people do things for a reason and they don't tell people the real truth. They don't tell people the real truth. But we all know the truth because they're not going to spend that much money on a robot that just patrols around. And it has a lot of extra stuff on it to just move around. And you have to realize, if he was just trying to patrol for spills, hypothetically, he would not be that tall. He actually has to be on top of the spill lots of times. But he misses things like sugar being on the floor. So really, his sensory abilities were not designed to handle things like what we think. I believe it's a big, big facade. And ladies and gentlemen, the NFL is to choose the new streaming partner for Sunday night games. This is definitely going to be very, very interesting, as the NFL will select the new Sunday partner by this fall, according to Commissioner Roger Goodell. And so Roger Goodell spoke with CNBC Julia Borstein in an executive interview not too long ago. And Goodell said, I quote, "The NFL will select a new Sunday ticket partner by the fall. Amazon, Apple, and Disney have all placed bids to be the NFL's new exclusive streaming provider for Sunday ticket," CNBC has now reported. And Goodell confirmed that the NFL Plus will launch in time for the season. So I think the NFL League is planning to select the streaming service, and they're planning to make a lot more revenue because a lot of people aren't going to games. They might be doing it on demand or just paying for the event. And it's interesting because now they have this whole new platform called the NFL Plus. So definitely interesting what's going to happen. And another interesting thing, which I thought you'd be really curious to know, contractual language with CBS and Fox would actually prevent any streaming services from charging fans significantly less than the current $300 cost for a Sunday ticket, according to CNBC. Now, I have to tell you something. If I'm going to spend $300 for a game, I'd rather go in person. So I think that's terrible. I think it's really gouging people. And DirecTV isn't bidding to renew the package, but is willing to partner with the winner, CNBC reporting. So with the current arrangement with the NFL, DirecTV mandates that customers who sign up for the Sunday ticket also sign up for its pay TV service with some rare exceptions. And that requirement will go away with the new streaming service partner, potentially opening up Sunday ticket to a much wider audience. And Goodell noted, and I quote, that many people who watch games on streaming service don't subscribe to traditional pay TV, allowing the league to capture a wider audience by moving Sunday ticket to a digital provider. Interesting. It's probably going to grow, but I think they're going to rip people off, and I think it's going to be costing more money to actually attend a game now. And they could have made the games much more affordable. I mean, they're just gouging people. We see this with gas. We see this. I mean, my own mom was ordering flowers the other day because somebody had passed away. And flowers usually would cost $50, $75. She was getting prices for $400 and $500 for the same arrangement to be delivered to a funeral parlor. I think that's terrible. And that should not be tolerated. All right. So in other news, I know you want to hear about this. Mr. Elon Musk. Elon, what are you doing, buddy? What's going on with Twitter? I mean, this is like an abomination. Elon Musk's deal to buy Twitter is in serious jeopardy, as you know. 3 people familiar with the matter say, and I quote, as Musk's camp concluded, that Twitter's figures on the spam counts are not verifiable. But Twitter is now trying to sue Elon Musk for breaching the contract. So what's going to happen there? I mean, I think he either needs to basically get on or get off the pot. And I think he's just wasting people's time. And I think right now that before he even entered into this kind of arrangement, he should have asked for this before he was seriously thinking about buying the company, because he's wasting everybody's time. And you know what I see happening? I see Twitter possibly going under if they don't change their ways and come up with a new business model, because traffic's not there, ladies and gentlemen. It's just not there. It's not like it used to be. All right. And a very, very big provider, and I'm sure you know who I'm going to talk about, but this is something, ladies and gentlemen, that is really serious. Something that's very, very serious. And why do I say it's so serious? Well, I'm going to tell you why. Because big companies are getting away with treating people in an unfair manner just because they're big. Who am I talking about? Hope you know. Other than our good old friends, Amazon. Amazon workers condemn unsafe, grueling conditions at the warehouse. They're paying their warehouse workers $30, $40, $50 and more per hour. Now, why are they doing this? I'll tell you why. They've got these state-of-the-art robots, which are great, but don't worry, they're not replacing people in the warehouse for at least another century or so. They're getting people that don't understand what the conditions are. And they're getting attracted by the green stuff, by the money, but they're not doing the litmus test and saying, hey, is this okay? people after working their 3 12-hour shifts every week at Amazon's plant in New York City warehouse called JFK 8 on Staten Island since its first began operations in late 2018. And as sorters on outbound shipping docks, it's grueling. And they're expecting people to work very, very hard. There was a petition that went through to consolidate workers to 2 15-minute breaks into a 30-minute one. Workers say it can take up to 15 minutes just to walk to and from the warehouse break room. Workers also called for Amazon to provide more reliable public transit services to the warehouse. But even though they have the latest technology, the statistics are here to prove it. Amazon has probably one of the highest injury rates than any other fulfillment distribution company out there. I think that's atrocious. I want to quote what one of the workers said. And this is coming right from their lips. There are days I say I'm just at the mercy of God. She said the only changes Amazon implemented after the high injury report that was reported and published was to install video monitors around the warehouse to tell workers safety is the company's number one priority. But it's one thing to say something, right? But it's another thing to do it. So I always say that actions speak louder than words. So if you're a person that lives on integrity, but yet you're saying in one breath that you're actually giving them a great deal, but then you're cheating them on the back end, that's unethical. Do you know, and I want to quote another quote from Amazon, people get fired regularly, she said. It just takes 2 or 3 write-ups, depending on the severity, and you can get fired for anything. Why would you even want to work for a company like that? Raymond Velez worked as a packer at the Amazon JFK 8 warehouse from October 2018 to November 2019. He was required to pack at a rate of 700 items per hour. That's inhumane. He said that workers are regularly fired for missing rates. Quote, again, that's all they care about. They don't care about their employees, close quote. Velez also commented, and I want to add, they care more about the robots than they care about the employees. He also stated, I've been to AmCare, the company's on-site medical unit, a couple of times for not feeling well. And all they do is give you an aspirin and send you back to work. Another person said, I was a picker, and we were expected to always pick 400 units within an hour in 7 seconds of each item that was picked. I couldn't handle it. I'm a human being, not a robot. Last comment I want to make is, quote, you're being tracked by a computer the entire time you're there. You don't get reported or written up by managers. You get written up by an algorithm, said Geller. You're keenly aware there's an algorithm keeping track of you, making sure you keep going as fast as you can, because if there is too much time lapse between items, the computer will know this, will write you up, and you will get fired. One of their head persons said that we have performance expectations like any other company. All right, I get that you have performance expectations, but what you're doing is brutal slave labor. You're treating people inhumanely. And I think America, United States of America, the international countries, our entire universe needs to come together with a consortium that's not going to let companies like this get away, that's going to get in front of their face, that's going to fine them for stuff like this. They care more about their robots than they do about people. So let's ask a simple question. How much does one robot cost at Amazon? Well, I have to tell you, it's probably in the millions. And any company that's more focused on profit than doing the right thing. This is why they have such a high turnover rate. I am blown away and I am really dismayed at the fact of what's going on. And I know, ladies and gentlemen, that they're just going to burn through people left and right. So if you're looking for a job, do you really want to work for a company? I mean, just this past week, the 12th and the 13th was Amazon Prime's birthday. Why would you want to work for a company that wants you to work at a higher rate than is physically feasible without you getting sick or injured? They have the highest injury rate in the industry for this type of company. But because they're Amazon, they could just do whatever the heck they want. We need to send a message to companies like Amazon and these other companies. I don't know how Walgreens is. I don't know how Walmart is, but I've heard stories, I can't prove them, that they may not be any better, but they are just stepping things down when they get complaints from their employees because they don't have the money or the resources that Amazon does. So let's send a message to our Congress, to our government, to regulation, to the FDA, to the Board of Labor, that this is not going to be tolerated. They might pay people $75 an hour, but would you want to work for that if you could barely make an hour or two of work and come home so exhausted and tired that you can't even breathe? I wouldn't. So Amazon, you're fooling a lot of people. You're not fooling everybody. So they're just hoping they can get people. Even their delivery route system is a joke. I can't tell you how many times I've not gotten items and then I've had to fight with them about where to go, and then they thought I stole it. I didn't steal it. Your driver didn't know the difference between my address going from left to right and right to left. You delivered it dyslexically. I mean, come on. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed this edition of the JMOR Tech Talk Show. You know, I always enjoy being here with you guys and sharing so much information. And, you know, if you want to be a guest on the JMOR Tech Talk Show, just go to JMOR, JMOR.com. And all you need to do, very simply, is click on that reach up button and apply to become a guest. There are some steps you need to go through. And we don't accept everyone. It is not a sales show. It's about giving value. We're also rolling out very soon. Again, we'll be doing live shows monthly in Oakland, New Jersey at the Oakland Public Library. So real excited. Lots of great things happening. And just rolled out Double Impact with my friend Hurricane H, which takes place every week. So you're definitely going to want to catch that. That's a brand new program as well. Again, I'm John C. Morley, serial entrepreneur, the host of the JMOR Tech Talk Show. It has been an amazing privilege, an amazing pleasure, and of course, an honor to be with you this evening. Check out all my other great content. You can go to believemeachieve.com. Check out my TikTok. Check out my daily, John's New Daily Days. And I'll see you guys, yes, in another JMOR Tech Talk Show, which will be next week. Wow, July 22nd. Have yourself a great rest of your weekend.